Hey, what's up, people? What's going on? I want to talk about a topic that it's taken me almost an entire week to think about this, to say what I was going to see what I was going to say about this topic, but I think it's very important. And it was something that was on the news over the weekend, the whole Serena Williams rant. So I got to preface what I'm about ready to say with this before we get started. Now, Serena Williams and Venus Williams and their father, Richard Williams, are the only reason why I know anything about tennis or why I even watch tennis, right? Because when these two young girls appeared on the tennis scene when they were like 15 and 17 or something like that, they just amazed us with their beads and all of that, and their father telling the world that y'all are going to be mad when you see Williams on number one and number two in the world. And everything he said came to fruition. So love them, love what they about. I don't love all their decisions, and everything that they've done, but nonetheless, I still follow their career. I love, how they persevered, even with all the racism and things that they were dealing with, right? And their careers is coming up. People, making racist statements and playing in a very white sport. They came up and become two of the greatest players of all time in tennis. Serena is almost at the threshold of surpassing the majors record, which is 24. She's at 23, so she's almost at the brink of tying it and then trying to surpass it. So this brings me to the point that I want to make, the rant. I didn't think, and let me say this, and I know a lot of you gonna have your say about this, but I didn't think Serena was right. So now listen to me and hear me out. So now when she first, now I didn't get to see the game live because I didn't get to see it, but I saw it afterwards. So when the first penalty that she got hit with, or the first court violation, I believe that they call it, that she got hit with, was coaching from the box from her coach, right? That's a court violation, right? So she was saying that she wasn't getting coaching. He just gave me a thumbs up and whatever. Now, at the end of the match, I believe her coach even said that yes, he was coaching her, but everybody coaches, all the coaches coach, so he don't understand why she got hit. Nonetheless, that's a rule. No coaching. It's a violation. It's a court violation. So her coach admitted that he was coaching. So then, Serena, if you've been watching her career, she goes in through these pockets, right? Where Serena and Venus had this problem where they would beat themselves because of these things called unforced errors, meaning errors that you created yourself, not that the opponent caused you to create, but you create them yourself, like hitting the ball into the net. That's an unforced error. So after the whole thing happened with the coaching, when the umpire told her about the coaching, she lost a game, I believe. I believe her serve got broken or whatever, and she slammed the racket, right? That's 2 court violations because it's called abuse of a racket. These are tennis rules. So Serena should know that if you got warned for your first court violation, which was being coached, you should know the rules of the game, right? Being coached from the box from your coach. So tennis rules is if you get 2 court violations, you get a point. The opponent gets a point. Meaning you lose a point, but your opponent gains a point, right? So when she went back out and she realized that she lost the point, then she began to argue why she lost the point. So the umpire explained to her, you know, this is the rules, this is what happened, or whatever. Serena began to say that, you know, she's earned everything. She's never had to cheat for nothing. I grant all of that. I feel like the umpire probably shouldn't have gave her the first warning for the coaching, right? But nonetheless, it's a rule in the game. It's like New York City has a rule for jaywalking. It's not enforced, but if a cop stops you and give you a ticket for jaywalking, it's in the books. You understand what I'm saying? The next thing that she did was, because now this became an issue about the point, she was frustrated, right? So she began to call the umpire thief. She began to berate the umpire, saying that she's never, you know, she's never had to steal it. She's earned everything. And nobody has ever given her anything, but she basically, you know, earned everything. Like I said, I agree with them. You know, they've earned everything that they've gotten. But then she began to talk about, because she's a woman, you know, because she's a woman, this has happened to her. And this is where I feel like she took it sideways, because the same umpire, court umpire, has given men, have given men court violation and has deducted points from men. So it's not a man and woman thing, and it's not and I don't believe that it was a race thing, because she was playing a black woman. You know what I'm saying? So it was not a man and woman thing, because this umpire is everybody gets it fairly, man and woman. You understand what I'm saying? Do I think that he was kind of hasty in giving her that first court violation? Yes, I believe that. But it wasn't a man and woman issue, because this umpire has given or has taken away points from men for the same type of behavior, right? So she went on to make it a man, because she's a woman. And, you know, she began to say other things, and then she began to berate the umpire while she was sitting down and tell him, don't talk to me, you will never coach another one of my matches. And then she wanted the officials from the back to come out, because he proceeded to take a game away from her, because that was her third violation, abusive language, right? So now she's hot, she's at 100. She's hot, she's at 100. And the things that she's saying, like, you will never umpire another one of my matches, don't say anything to me, being real, that became almost a sense of entitlement. Because if you're saying no one has ever given anything to you, or you have earned everything, right, that you've gotten, then why are you upset about what's going on? Go out there and earn. I felt like she should have just buckled down, right? And being as great as she is, and went out there, and she was already down one set. Naomi Osaka was already up one set. That means that if she would have won the second set, you know, once she wins the second set, she wins the match, and she becomes U.S. Open Women's Champion. But Serena, when everything began, she was up like 3-1. Or Serena, as great as she is, she would have just had to recoup, won that second set, and then went on to beat Naomi Osaka in that third set. Serena was acting entitled. She was acting like a diva, and she made it a man and woman's issue, and I don't feel like that was right. I know many of y'all going to have your opinions. I know a lot of sisters going to have your opinions. You got Serena's back, but I'm just telling the truth. That's what I saw. What I saw is Serena's a great player, not taking anything away from her. But Naomi Osaka, it's a spitting image of a young Serena, meaning she can hit the ball as hard as Serena, and she can move from baseline to baseline, defending shots. And I think Serena got frustrated because she saw that. And Serena just couldn't handle it. You know, Serena's, I believe, 37 years old. You know, it's not easy to get your body ready to go and to get to a finals and being that age. You know, recovery is a little bit more difficult. Naomi Osaka is 20 years old. You know, she can recover much faster. I mean, Serena, for all intent and purposes, is old enough to be her mother if she had her at a young age. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not promoting, you know, young births or anything like that. Don't come at me for that. But that's what I'm saying. Serena's been playing longer than Naomi has been alive, I believe. Yeah, Serena's been playing professionally, I believe, longer than Naomi Osaka's been alive. So Serena got all that wear and tear, so it's not as easy to run down these balls and do all that. So my whole point being is, we sometimes defend people, and I get it, you know, but look at the whole matter. This chair umpire, he's been known to bang people. There's rules in games. In baseball, if you argue balls and strikes, it's an automatic ejection. And basketball. And also, you got to know your officials. In basketball, you got an official by the name of Joey Crawford. All the players knew that he was quick to eject players. You couldn't disrespect him. If you disrespected him, he'll kick you out the game. You know, he kicked Tim Duncan out of I believe a championship or a playoff game. You know, and that was Tim Duncan, one of the greatest players that has ever played. So you got to know your officials. You got to know who is umpiring your game, and you got to do all that and stop the diva behavior. Love you, Serena. The only reason why I watch tennis is because of you, your sister, and your father. The only reason why I even will watch a golf match is because of Tiger Woods. Although Tiger Woods don't consider himself being black. He said he's Euro, Asian, Blasian, or whatever, you know, he called himself. But the only reason why I follow is because we got these black people playing these sports. So, Serena, I know you're going to get to your goal. I know you're going to achieve your goal. But, and I'll tell you even this much, even at the end of the match, she realized she made it all about her. And she said, I'm not going to do an interview about what happened because I don't want to take away the shine from Naomi Osaka, who is of Haitian and Japanese descent, and she was playing for Japan, but she's also a woman of color, you know. So I just feel like, you know, Serena kind of was acting like a diva. You know, she was acting kind of entitled, like she was a little bit spoiled. Then she started crying and whining, and come on, Serena. And this is not the first time Serena has had this reaction, you know. Serena could be a diva when she wants to be a diva. But I love her. You know what I mean? I love how they came about and how they grew in the sport. And I appreciate everything that they have done in the sport and have gotten all these young black females to follow after their footsteps in playing tennis and becoming good. You got Sloane Stephens. You got, like I said, Naomi Osaka. And you had the other girl, Madison Keys. You know, these are all people of color. So that's just my 2 cents. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about it. If you agree with me, if you disagree, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do. Peace. Have a good day.